welcome to DBHandmades. My name is Danielle and today we're gonna do something a little different. It's something new that I have not done before, mixed in with something I have done before. I am going to take a cross stitch pattern and make it into a crop top. I actually saw on Reddit an Ahsoka Tano cross stitch pattern and made it into like an 18 by 20 crocheted panel. I was like, you know what, if I counted how many stitches across or how many squares in this grid across it was, and I'm like, you know what, I don't have any Star Wars really cool Star Wars shirts, so this would be my opportunity to have a really cool, unique, one-of-a-kind crop top. So I am so pumped, but also I could definitely fail. So who knows, right? I was gonna crochet an Ahsoka Tano amigurumi, which I still am probably gonna do at some point in the future. I'm excited to try something new that's still crocheting. I will link the cross stitch pattern that I am using in the description box below so that you can have your opportunity to do this as well. That's what we're going to be doing today. Now it's time to make an Ahsoka Tano crop top or t-shirt. May the force be with us on this one. So this is the cross stitch pattern that I will be using today. So these are the materials that I am going to be using for the Ahsoka Tano t-shirt. All these yarns are going to be of similar width, either DK or light worsted weight yarns, or number 3, or 24/7 cotton. I think is kind of a very thin 4 weight yarn. So I tried to use yarns that were very, very close together in thickness. So I definitely have a wide variety here. I'm gonna need tapestry or embroidery needles. Gonna need a stitch marker so then I know exactly when I'm gonna be adding different colors. I'm gonna be using a 4mm or G crochet hook. I'm gonna be using some skizzers, and I'm so used to saying polyester filling, but this is not this is not amigurumi. I believe that those are all the materials that we will need, so let us begin. I counted how many squares across I'm gonna need to make, and it's 59 squares. And make sure to make your chains pretty loose so that you're not gonna have any bunching on the bottom. Make sure to crochet in the back bumps so that you have a nice foundational row. Again, we don't want to have any bunching on the bottom. When working with black yarn, it's hard for me to see how many stitches I have sometimes, so I made sure to put a stitch in every 10 stitches so that it was just easier for me to count. After checking to see if I had 59 single crochets, I did. I chained 1, and now I'm going to turn my work. Now, just to let you know, a chain 1 is going to count as a single crochet. We're going to continue on into the second stitch and do a single crochet. Make sure to do a total of 59 stitches all the way across. Make sure to do 5 more rows of single crochets with the black yarn. I actually was putting a stitch marker at the end of each row as I was completing them. It's actually a fun fidget toy. But more importantly, it was so that I could count how many rows I had completed. So not counting the first stitch marker because that was our chain row, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just completed our 7 rows of black single crochets. We are going to have a lot of color changes in our upcoming rows, obviously, in order to create Ahsoka Tano. We're actually doing 2 types of color changes. We're going to be doing color changes on the right side and color changes on the wrong or the back side. After completing 7 rows, gonna chain one and turn. In the 29th stitch, I put a stitch marker here to signify our first color change with the orange yarn. So again, our chain one counts as our first single crochet, and then we're going to do 27 more single crochets. So we have reached stitch number 29. I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and how we do a color change, I'm actually going to undo my previous single crochet, do a single crochet, but instead of yarning under or over and pulling through the black yarn, I'm going to put on my new color, the orange yarn, and pull that yarn through. I'm going to do 2 crochets with the orange yarn. Before I complete the single crochet with the orange yarn, I then go back to using the black yarn. And make sure to do single crochets with the black yarn for the rest of this row. Chain one and then turn. I will show you how to make your color changes when working on the wrong or the back side of our crop top. We're going to be working on the wrong side of the shirt. Make sure all of your yarn ends are going to end up on the back as you go. I have marked these 4 stitches for the color change, which means we're going to do single crochets up to our stitch markers. So I have reached my stitch marker here, and I'm about to complete my last black single crochet. And instead of finishing the single crochet with my black yarn, I'm actually going to put this yarn in front, because again, this is the back side of our tapestry, of our work. I'm going to pull through the orange yarn. I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and then I'm going to do 3 single crochets with the orange yarn. 2, 3, and before I do the 3rd single crochet with the orange yarn, I'm actually going to do gray yarn for her shirt. I'm going to slip that new color on. I'm going to tighten that slip knot. I'm going to pull the gray yarn through, remove this stitch marker, and do 1 single crochet with gray yarn. Oh, and also make sure all of your yarn ends are on the correct side. And before I finish my gray single crochet, again, we're going to actually go back to using our black yarn. And then we're going to single crochet with the black yarn for the rest of the row, chain 1, and then turn. And then go back to using the black yarn. Here is where things get interesting. I've actually started indicating the blue stitch markers for where our blue headpiece is about to begin in our pattern. So we're going to do 1 blue single crochet followed by 2 gray single crochets from this orange stitch to this stitch. We're going to do all orange. Then we're going to do 2 gray single crochets one orange single crochet, and then one blue single crochet. Okay, so this is what I have so far. It does not look like much, but I am very proud of the work I've accomplished so far. I know I still have a lot to go, but I am so excited and happy that I decided to do this. I love Ahsoka Tano, and I started watching Ahsoka, and I'm just so excited that she's finally getting the attention that she deserves. She is absolutely awesome and has flown so low under the radar in the Star Wars universe for way too long. And I mean, for crying out loud, she was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. You'd think that we would have, as fans, wanted to know more about his own Padawan, right? Before he turned to the dark side. Like, come on. Come on. Hella fascinating. Anyway, so yesterday I was feeling a little tired, as I always do in the afternoon. And so I went to the couch and I made some progress on Ahsoka. Look at this. Oh my god, look at, you can see. She's coming. She's coming. Let's just keep going. All right, so here's our work, and then here's what my desk looks like. So I've got, you know, all the yarn just jetting out from my work. I started using my yarn bowl, but I mean, as I had to keep, you know, detangling my yarn, I had to just, I don't know. Being on the desk, it was easier. And there's my other Pikachu, and then, yes, we're watching Rebels. More Star Wars for our Star Wars project. So after I am done with the top of her, I think I'm gonna go in and take my embroidery or tapestry needle and do the details like her eyebrows, her eyes. I think there's a line underneath her nose, so a line that goes across her arm. I'm so excited, you really can tell it's Ahsoka. Here she is. Oh my gosh, Ahsoka is here. I'm so excited. At this point, I'm like, okay, do I really want to go through the effort of making an entire top, shirt, crop top, whatever? And the answer is yes. Again, Ahsoka, so epic, so worth the effort. So I've started actually. This is what I've done for my V-neck so far. I've done V-stitches. On a black, you can totally see my progress. And then of course I had to extend the sides because I'm not like this. Obviously I needed to extend the sides, but I did it by, I forget what stitch this is called, but I simply just did single crochet, chain one, and then I skipped a stitch. So it actually kind of looks really cool. I was kind of thinking of doing like a, I just had the word for it before I started recording. not tube top, because that's without the up top. When you tie it off, you know, when you actually have your 2 strands here, and I'll probably look it up. I don't know. We'll see where I'm inspired to go. So, but I'm having a lot of fun with this process. Ahsoka is epic. She's worth all this effort and way more. So I'm thinking that maybe I put in her detailing at the end. Anytime I put in the eyes with amigurumi, even when I was painting at one point, and even this, when you put in the eyes, something happens. You just feel like you have a connection with what you just made. Those are just my random tangent thought. Let's keep going with my top. I come to you with just terrible news. Not really terrible, but I was so close. Here's the back of my tank top. I was able to do a little strap here and have it fit. So close. So close. I just needed 5 more rows of V-stitches for my strap, and I would have been close to done. But no, it was not meant to be. And then my husband was like, well, does that mean you need to go get more yarn? And I'm like, yes, that's what it means. That's what it means. So we're gonna go to Joann's. That's where they have Lion Brand's 24/7 cotton, which is what I've been using for my top here. Hopefully they have black. Hopefully they have black. Please. Please pray. Anyways. And we'll go to Joann's real quick.
So you've got to be kidding that this is the one and only 24/7 cotton that they have in the store, and that's all that.
I have embroidered Ahsoka's face and the shoulder straps, and also the outline of her arm here. So the last and final touch is going to be her 2 lightsabers. So this is actually a model of her when she is younger. So she has, I think she has 2 green lightsabers. I know that one of them is green. I have lime green here, but the lighter green that I have is in fingering weight yarn, so I might have to double up. When using a cross stitch pattern, it shows that they're just embroidering 3 lines for the lightsaber. Obviously we're not going to do that. We're going to chain a long chain, and then we're going to single crochet along the back bumps of our chain. And we're going to do that with the lightsaber color and then with the lightsaber handle itself. Just make sure that it's a little bit longer on the bottom, and then it kind of is just below where the nose and the mouth is. And then now we will single crochet along the back bumps of our foundational chain. So let's see if it is long enough before we cut and finish off our lightsaber. So I would say that this is good. Cut a long tail for sewing. Hopefully that's long enough. Hopefully that's long enough. Before we finish off with a long tail, I'm going to see if this is long enough, and it indeed is long enough. And also I want to make sure that it matches up with the other lightsaber color. Okay. It's just folding in on itself. Very good, yay! For the lightsaber handle, we are going to chain 5 and then single crochet on the back bump. And you'll chain 1 and slip stitch into the foundation, and then cut off a long tail for sewing. So instead of crocheting this onto the lightsaber itself, I think I'm just going to sew it right alongside it. I had a thought where I am going to sew the right lightsaber on top of the left lightsaber, and so I think I'm gonna have to make this handle a little shorter. With that in mind, I have sewed the right lightsaber's handle on already, and now I'm going to sew on the actual lightsaber color part on now, and then I'm going to focus on the left one in a bit. We can lay it next to the other handle and then have the other lightsaber color go alongside here. I just put the final touches on my Ahsoka Tano top. Now I am going to go try it on. I'm so excited. Okay, so I've already seen myself in the top because I just wanted to make sure I'm not flashing anybody first. But, oh gosh, here it is. Oh my gosh, look at how cool. I have my very own Ahsoka Tano crop top. Now, I know it's not as form-fitting, but you know what? That's okay. I'm so proud of this and how it turned out. Now I have my very own special Star Wars shirt. I don't have any lightsabers, but okay, I could maybe wield my crochet hook. View, 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 view. I don't know. I'm not a Jedi. So I am so proud of the top that I made for myself. And you know what's great is because I made it with mercerized cotton, I know that it's gonna hold its shape really, really well. So I don't have to worry about it stretching or losing its shape over time. I basically did V-stitches for the top portion of my shirt, and then obviously single crochets for the grid pattern, and then for the back and sides I did simply single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then single crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch. And I just did that all the way around, and it kind of actually gives it some elasticity and stretches, which is great, because guess what? That way it's actually comfortable when you're sitting. I am a medium, but I always find that my arms, I like my arms, but for some reason, I guess the way that shirts are manufactured, you gotta have little twig arms for medium-sized shirts. So by making my own top, I get to have bigger holes for my lovely arms. So then I can move and not be so restricted. It's lovely. All right, well that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me when crocheting my Ahsoka Tano crop top. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you loved my yarny shenanigans when creating my Ahsoka Tano top, go ahead and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe, happy, and healthy. May the force be with you, and bye!